Shut up and sit down.
Boom, welcome back. Welcome back to the One Punch Podcast with me, Bryan Lacey, and
Bonnie.
And Bonnie the dog. That's right. Let's do it in levels of intelligence. Me, Bonnie, and...
levels of cuteness. Me, Bonnie, then
me. There you go. All right, Brad Pickett is with us in the house as well. Thank you for joining us once again. Thanks for supporting the podcast. Thanks for checking out last week's YouTube video as well. I think you scaring the shit out of me was people's highlights.
It was. So many people captured that and resent it to me.
Yeah, and me and
just is that still there?
Do you know what? Still a bit scared. Still a little bit scared. So look, we're back with the podcast. Thank you again for joining us. We've got lots to talk about. We've got UFC 217, which is what we'll start with, because fuck me, that was one of the most amazing MMA events.
I haven't watched it yet.
Oh, spoiler alert! Spoiler alert! Could you imagine that if we're doing the podcast afterwards? It was nuts. Now you were at, and we'll talk about this in a little while as well, Robert Whiteford's wedding.
I was.
There was a well documented Insta story of you and your deteriorating stability speech, and I've never been drunk with you, but I've seen you on your Snapchat having a little bit. I've never seen you that drunk before. Was that the most drunk you've ever been?
Oh, for a long time, yeah. I've never drink. For me, I don't drink that often, but I drink to get drunk, which
yes,
I succeeded.
Do. Yes,
but also
you do.
Because of that, I don't normally get hangovers or anything like that. Because normally when I drink too much, I throw up.
Yeah,
and I did that night as well. But obviously, I didn't throw up enough because I was still drunk in the morning. I felt like shit.
Oh, dude.
And I'm like, that literally probably my first hangover. And it was this thing. I don't know if the Scottish people know about it. There's this drink called Buckfast.
Bucky. Bit of Bucky.
Do you know about it?
Yeah, I know about Bucky. As if you don't know about Buckfast. Buckfast would be their White Lightning cider for the streets. That is their version. It's
quality stuff.
It's high quality. It's called like fortified wine, they call it, but it's disgusting, mate, isn't it?
They describe to me as a bit like cough syrup, but cough syrup is better, honestly. I actually don't mind the taste of cough syrup. This was worse than that. It wasn't great, but I think...
How much did you drink of it?
I think like a pint.
You drank a pint.
Down the pint.
Oh my God.
Down the pint. Well, a Scottish guy done it, and I was like, yeah. When in Rome. Yeah.
Oh, when in Glasgow. Jesus, mate.
But I think it was also like I don't know how many, but 6 or 7 Jaeger bombs I had as well.
They look like big Jaeger bombs as well.
They were massive.
They were huge.
And Rob kept giving me his.
Oh, right. So you were guarding Whiteford's as well.
Yeah.
I know. I can't do many shots. I don't mind that sort of stuff. But I'm not a big shot guy. I can't. That's what tipped me over the edge.
I do shots more than anything else because I don't like holding drinks.
Okay.
In a weird way. When I'm in a nightclub, I hate holding drinks. So every time I have a drink,
have you not adapted your dance moves to holding a drink? Have you not got the old?
I don't know what it is. I really don't know. I've always been a hands-free guy. Even this is annoying me.
Yeah, that microphone's annoying you. That's annoying the people that are listening as well. That's the other thing. Look, we're going to jump back to booze because let's do the UFC first because it's I can't wait to talk about it. Did you watch it live? Did not watch it live. So I watched it the Sunday evening, so I had to go completely dark. I couldn't even watch your Insta stories.
Just in case
anything came out. But I watched it in the evening. I got one message off of someone who just sent me a message saying, holy shit. And I thought, okay, I didn't know what had happened or whether it was just the event.
Some holy shit happened.
Where did you watch it?
Again, I didn't watch it that night because I was comatose.
Did you find the results out before you watched it?
One.
Which one?
The GSP one.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah, so that's only one because I was like, Bowler in one of my group chats, which comes up onto my on WhatsApp, comes up on the thing. He says, GSP wins by death choke.
Oh, dude!
And I'm like, oh my god! I see.
I've got a rule. I've got a rule about anyone who does spoilers like that. I think everybody should be sensitive. Like good MMA fans, good friends that are MMA fans should be sensitive to the fact that it's on late at night and not everyone can watch it live. So I think there should be 2-3 days when you've got to check first.
Yeah.
Have you seen it? Because he'd be out. He'd be off my Christmas card list, mate.
He's not on mine. He's never been on it.
Yeah, but you need to get some of his chicken. Let's be honest. But I have a firm rule: if anyone fucks up my UFC things, but with anything blatant like that,
I'm normally really good at staying away from everything. But it's just because I wouldn't even check my WhatsApp messages. But it's just because you know that the last message comes up on your screen so you can see. Yeah. So I because it wasn't long enough, I
you
could
just
see
saw GSP wins
by death choke, and I'm like, oh god. But then what else spoiled it is like I got the BT app on my iPad, so I was gonna watch him on the way. But then obviously they had 3 different fights, and I'm not stupid, so I look at the times of them. I'm like, dude, none of these went the distance. I didn't know the results of the other two. Okay, but none of these went the distance. Let me watch them.
Wow. Okay.
And there was some holy shit moments.
Holy shit! Well, let's start there then. Which was your? And we've got some questions here. I think one of them is actually what is your biggest holy shit moment from UFC 270, and which is the bit that blew you away the most?
Well, Joanna getting knocked out. You know, for me that was very surprising. As in, I didn't think Rose couldn't win that fight. I just didn't see it in that way.
Yeah, no one did. No one did, mate. That was it. It was. Like when she caught her to start with, I thought, because I've seen Joanna's been caught before. She has been clipped. She's sort of stumbled. I don't think she's ever been dropped properly like that. But when she caught her first, I thought, oh, maybe that's just a bit of off balance. But that would, because she didn't finish her then, I thought Joanna would just tighten up that.
Yeah.
That
the first one, I actually think it wasn't really a knockdown.
Yeah.
She was throwing a kick and off balance, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
But the second one, that landed. That was so clean.
Yeah.
And like I say, very surprisingly, the women at that weight class been able to drop another woman in that fashion, you know.
Yeah.
Because I mean, obviously, I'm a massive. I love Joanna to bits. We're good friends and stuff. But also, I like Rose. She comes across really well. 2 different characters, and obviously, Joanna is a very aggressive with the build up to fights. Yeah. You know, just how she is. She is. People have the misconception. She's a lovely girl. She'll do anything for anyone. Yeah. But obviously, when you're an opponent, you're an opponent. That's completely different. But she is such a lovely girl. But then also, Rose seems a really, really nice girl. But she seems to approach the fight in a different way.
Did you see the stare down? Did you see the step for the weigh-ins?
Yeah.
Did you see that where Rose is citing the Lord's Prayer?
Yeah.
That's one of the scariest things I've ever seen. Because Namajunas is sort of... she's very stoic. She's very different to sort of like the pretty girls that they try and pitch with the UFC. But
I think she's actually very good looking.
She's beautiful, but she doesn't play that card. No. She doesn't sit there. She doesn't.
G.I. Jane.
That's G.I. Jane. But the Joanna on the other side is a very, like you said, very aggressive in the build-ups, and Rose was nothing like that. She was almost emotional. But then when they did that stare down, and also the bit before on the media day where Jędrzejczyk touched her with the nose, and Rose didn't even move a millimeter from it. There was something about those two where I found Rose like scary. I haven't found her like that before. I thought that was quite intimidating.
It like some of those ones when you go out and it's normally the loud. If you see a group of people causing trouble, it's not the loud one you need to watch out for. It's the quiet one.
Just quiet one at the back, just putting their watch in their pocket.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So that was my biggest holy shit moment as well.
Yeah. I think everybody's as well.
Because obviously I'm a big fan of Jędrzejczyk just for her striking, what she's done. But and I'll ask you this because you know her. What were you comfortable with what she was doing on the build-up when she was talking about mental stability? Because this is the thing that Rose has gone back to in the post-fight interview she's done since then. She said, "Look, Jędrzejczyk was somebody who taught me how to be a champion when she came in, and then the last week when she was doing all the mental stability stuff, she taught me how not to be a champion." Did you hear that quote?
No, I didn't.
Okay, which I think was quite astute, but she was really citing the fact that Namajunas and Jędrzejczyk have been picking on the mental stability bit. What do you think?
I know, but I think that's a little bit harsh. Yeah, I do. There's there's trash talk and all that sort of stuff, but there's some things that just kind of like below the belt a little bit. I did think picking on someone's mental stability is a bit below the belt, because everyone has mental problems, and you have to be a little bit crazy to do what we do as a sport anyway. You know, like not everyone wants to get.
Should I be sat in a room alone with you right now? Is this
not everyone wants to get punched in the face. No. You know, it's like, it is such a weird thing as well. So it's not really. Yeah, I didn't really like that side of the build-up.
Yeah. But it was interesting because Namajunas said that the way she brought it up made her go in. And this is the other thing about Namajunas that surprised me. Did you see the video they put up of her playing the piano a couple of days before? So she's amazing at playing the classical music, playing Handel's Fifth or whatever, Mozart's Seventh Concerto, whatever it might have been. So out of the blue, she's just playing this stuff. So she's got all these like secret hidden little traits. But she said it was actually the Jędrzejczyk bringing it up that made her think about her mental stability. So she then went and studied and started to look at books about how to sort of fortify your mind so that you're better at things. And that's where the Lord's Prayer came in. So that whole thing was a chain of events brought up by Jędrzejczyk. But I just found it interesting the way that Namajunas attached a process to cope with it on top of that. And there's even like that thing with the piano, you'd never picture her to be one of the best piano players I've ever seen on the internet or whatever else.
No, far from it.
No, nothing like that. But that made her even more intriguing for me. It just blew me away. The other bit on that fight was tapping to strikes. Now Jędrzejczyk's come on the MMA Hour and said that she didn't tap to strikes, but it looked like she tapped to strikes. What do you think to that?
No comment. Now, yeah, I mean, like, for me, she looked like she tapped to strikes.
Yeah.
But I guess from anyone's point of view,
you
never want to tap to strikes.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, I don't know, it hurts, get me out of here sort of thing.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was one of those ones mentally you never want to. I'd rather go out stiff than tap to strikes.
Yeah.
You know, so maybe that's why she's got thinking back, shit, I should have tapped. But,
Yeah.
You know, but for me, it did look like a tap.
Yeah. But what a performance. Do you reckon Jędrzejczyk deserves a rematch straight away?
No, I wouldn't say straight away. I don't think anyone deserves a rematch straight away unless there's some controversial outcome.
Okay. Yeah.
And there wasn't. For me, this is a real interesting one for me, is because, like, I don't know where Joanna goes from this mentally, because I say, obviously, as you saw with the whole build-up thing, the mental side of the sport is massive. And being a striker like I was myself, when you get knocked out being a striker, especially the type of striker she was, you're very aggressive going in your face. It kind of like makes you not. She was 14-0. You have that invincibility kind of thing.
Sure.
You know, like, I'm invincible.
Yeah.
I remember me fighting. I used to be like that. And when I suffered my first TKO of my career against Thomas Almeida, my mindset completely changed. I felt vulnerable within fights.
Really?
And I wasn't as aggressive as I was. And everyone knows me as a fighter. That's why I believe I deteriorated from that fight. You know.
And do you think it was more mentally than physically?
Way more mentally.
Wow.
Because I was more worried
massive.
now. Also physically as well, because I was getting rocked when I was getting hit. That obviously that comes with age, but people don't realise Joanna's actually 30 as well.
Yeah.
You know, so she's aged.
I didn't realise that. I thought she was much younger than that.
She's 30, so she's aged quite a bit as well. Especially been striking all her life. So there's a lot of cumulative damage over those years, and I think Rose is like 24.
She's
26.
23. Yeah, 20. No, maybe 20, 25. That's right. 25
so
years old.
She's a lot younger. So. Don't get me wrong, it's the mental side of things, also physically. Sometimes when I'm not saying when your chin goes, because I'm not saying that's her chin gone now.
Yeah.
But it's just the mental side of things. You look at someone like Alistair Overeem was a devastating striker.
Yeah, different fighter now.
And also like people like Diego Barbosa.
Yeah.
When you're like,
Diego Sanchez?
No, Diego Barbosa.
Diego Barbosa?
Diego,
look at this.
Barbosa.
Oh, Barbosa. Yeah. But it's not Diego Barbosa, is it?
Yeah.
Is it?
Isn't it?
I don't know. We'll find out. Go on. I know what you mean. Go on, carry on.
For him, he's like one of the best strikers out there technically, and such an aggressive striker. But then when he gets clipped, he goes down. So when you when people kind of see that,
Edson Barboza.
That's what I said. I swear I said that.
Yeah, but I know what you mean. So now when he gets it, he's So yeah, what is next for her then? Do you think she has to? Do you think because there's 125 that title will be decided? Do you think she'll leave that 115 division? Do you think she'll go straight for that 125 belt?
I think she might. Yeah.
Can you see Shevchenko coming down, her going up, and us getting those two in the cage?
That'd be good. That'd be really good. I mean, like, for me, it's kind of it's the division that needs to happen for the females. You know, I think the massive drop between two weight classes is too much. But then also, there's not a lot of female fighters out there at the moment. You know, like those weight classes are very close together, so you will see a lot of dropping and changing. You know, it's like when the 125-pound division got introduced to the UFC. You saw quite a lot of people drop down. So. Yeah.
What about then TJ Dillashaw, Cody Garbrandt? Because that was that. What a fight that was. What a scrap between those two. This was the thing because with all these fights, Bisping, Cody, and Jędrzejczyk, all the ones that had done most of the trash talking, or comeuppance. That's it. Do you think that added? Do you think, especially with Cody and all the gym shit, do you think that added too much pressure?
No, because you saw with the build up to what do you call it? I mean, Cody's a very all his emotions. He shows his emotions a lot.
Yeah.
You know, his heart's on his sleeve sort of kind of guy. And you saw with the build up with him versus Cruz, and he looked phenomenal in that fight. And even with this fight with TJ, he looked good in the first round.
He did, yeah.
But with his striking style, I've always said this. He's very hittable.
Yeah,
you know, he gets away with it a lot because he's hand speed. He has crazy great hand speed, and that's the reason he has hand speed, because his shoulders are quite low when he throws his punches, but that leaves his chin's exposed. Where if you're going to strike, you should be up here, so when I throw a punch, my chin's protected by my shoulders.
Technique here on the One Punch podcast. Look at this. So this is seminars available.
I'll watch the shot. So I'm like this. So my chin's always protected.
Oh, I'll hold that for you.
So my chin's always protected. Where Cody has his hands a little bit lower, gives more speed because his shoulders are relaxed.
Oh, I get you.
But he's more vulnerable to getting
Look
hit.
at that. Just check that out. Check out the YouTube video. Gold.
So for me, it's fine to be that sort of style, because that's like a counterish sort of style. But you got to be careful when you get into that range where he does like to get in there and slug a little bit. You're going to get hit, you know. Yeah. So, I always thought that was going to be risky for him against TJ, because TJ does throw hard. But yeah, again, I'm not going to break down everyone, but TJ's quite hittable as well.
TJ.
And he got hit. He got dropped by the same punch with that video got released.
That's right, isn't it?
The exact same punch. Like, you didn't learn from it.
But let's talk about, because he came back from that. He was rocked. He was
talking about Saved by the Bell. He was Saved by the Bell.
Yeah.
I don't think he would have recovered. If
even that walk, but he took about 20 yards more than he needed to get back.
He done the truffle shuffle. He walked to the wrong corner and everything.
Yeah, straight back there. And then, because I was a bit concerned, this was the thing, when he got back to that corner, they put ice on him, but then Bang Ludwig just started talking at him, and it wasn't like they were trying to refocus him. Yeah. For me, it looked like this is me knowing fuck all. I was like, just get him back in the room, just relax him. But he did just keep talking about throw those kicks, don't set him up, just throw those kicks. And eventually, it was actually that thing. So again, I know fuck all about this, and he obviously knows his fighter well enough to know what's going on. But I was worried that he was just over talking to him and not
too much information.
Too much, but he actually just repeated the same bit of information. And Daniel Cormier kept bringing up. He said he's just asked for kicks, and it was a kick that got the first knockdown that set up the right hook for that finish, and it was a good finish as well. Wasn't it?
It was a very good finish. It was like I say, you watch it back slowly. It's like Cody's throwing, but his chin's just right there to be hit.
When you watch this, do you, because you're 135, do you see you in there?
Oh, I mean, I'm not just saying this. I honestly believe if I fought Cody and I had my chin that I used to have, I'd be able to knock him out.
Really?
But that's me. I mean, obviously being a fighter, I'm going to say that. But just technically, with my boxing within the pocket, which he likes to get in there, when I could take a punch, I know I'd hit him, and if I hit him, like You know, it's the same with like me when I fought
Sean Shelby, give us a call.
No,
Come
don't.
on, Sean.
I'm too
Sean.
old. Leave me alone. Let me be. Let me be.
Speaking of letting you be, there's talk that Faber is sort of throwing his hat in there. He said he would come he would come out of retirement for the TJ fight. You got you got any interest in that? I mean, I've got interest.
To fight TJ.
You could fight TJ. You could fight any of them.
For me, TJ is technically one of the best fighters in that division by far.
Yeah,
you know?
I think he's shown that with his even the Cruz fight that he lost, which was so close. I think Cruz won that one, but the Lineker one for me was a standout. No one's done that to Lineker, and then to do this to Garbrandt as well as what he did to Sunsao and the rest of them. He's like, do you remember him when he was in the Ultimate Fighter?
Yeah,
he was not that man. He was
a wrestler with some good jiu-jitsu, but he was very tentative on his feet. He was worried about his striking.
Yeah.
You know, but then obviously getting connected with Dwayne Lugwid, his striking's got a lot better, and you know he's a bit of a bully within the gym. You know, he beats people up and stuff like that, and he's growing in confidence.
Yeah. He's called for Mighty Mouse. That's the one he wants. Dropped to 125. Super fight for the belt there.
I think even Cody wanted that fight, didn't he?
Is that right?
Both of them said, yeah, well, whoever wins the belt, we're going to go down and fight.
Wow, okay. What do you think his chances are against Mighty Mouse at 125?
I think very good.
Really?
Very, very good. You know?
Oh, dude.
Would
you pick him?
I would.
Would you?
Yeah, I think so. Because for me, Mighty Mouse, pound for pound, one of the best guys in the world, right? But he's a wolf among sheep.
Okay.
There's not a lot in that division. You know, anyone who gets to the stage where they're close and good enough to maybe fight him.
Yeah.
You know,
they
fight
get
him
put
way
there
too
early. Yeah.
Way too
Horiguchi,
early.
Yeah.
They have
even
3 or 4
Cejudo.
wins. Boom, have a fight.
Yeah.
Henry, I think, is phenomenal
I think
now.
Henry and his striking is ridiculous.
I mean, that'd be a great fight now.
Yeah.
But he wasn't ready when he first fought him.
Yeah.
Literally. So that's what I mean. I think that's the problem when you have such a weak division. People get pushed to fight him too because they need new people. Like, who's next?
Yeah. Go on then. Let's talk about the one now. I'm going to be honest. The Rose one was my biggest holy shit moment.
Yeah.
Because I told you got the text that said holy shit, and I thought it was about Nama Yunus, and then I thought it was about TJ. So I still think this is the most wrong I've ever been about a fight, the most certain I've ever been about the outcome of a fight, and the most happy I've ever been to have been wrong because of the way it happened with GSP.
You on that 100%. But throughout all those, there's fights I wanted people to win, and there's fights that I thought people would win.
Okay.
Two different.
Yeah.
So with Rose versus Joanna, I thought Joanna would win. You know? So that was the biggest holy shit for me.
Yeah.
TJ versus Cody, for me, I could have gone either way.
Yeah.
And it showed it could have gone either way.
Could have gone. Yeah.
And with Bisping versus GSP, I was like, I really thought that Bisping was going to win the decision.
Yeah.
You know? I really did. But Bisping, I mean...
And the more the fight went on, the more sure I was as well.
Yeah, I thought, okay. Because, GSP started off really well.
He looked amazing when he came out, didn't he?
He looked good, but then he looked a bit slowing down. I'm like, oh no, this doesn't look good for Bisping. This doesn't look good for GSP. Because Bisping don't get tired.
Yeah.
But then, out of nowhere, boom, was it a left hook, wasn't it?
So it was left hooks, to the right of his face. So left hook and then followed it up, set the trap, and got and got that rear naked choke. That's strange. That's the death joke. But the build up, the bit before, right? So when first of all,
blood all over GSP's face.
Because that's what I was going to say. Because there was so many moments in that fight. Like when he first came out and he started moving around, he looked so good. He looked so good.
Bit swole for me.
Bit too swole.
Yeah.
I actually looked at my clock when he took his first big, and he rolled his eyes, and it was just after the first 1 minute 3 seconds into the second round, and I was like, oh, you're fucked. You are fucked. Yeah. And Bisping just gets more.
He's like a marathon runner. He gets better towards the end.
He grows into it, and as you go down, his confidence goes up, and he piles it on.
He started off for me way too tentative against GSP.
Yeah,
you know?
I didn't know this had happened as well. So they spoke about it in the commentary in 2006. They'd sparred and GSP destroyed him.
Yeah,
I had no idea that had ever happened. So that they were talking about that as one of the reasons he might have wanted the fight, and I think he might have been tentative of the takedown, but I think he was far too tentative because he let. Saying that, I'm bouncing back. This fight is because I watched this fight twice, back to back, and the journey of it was nuts. Because GSP started off great, caught Bisping quite a bit. Did he drop him? He didn't drop him, did he?
No, I don't think so.
He caught him, but he took him down, and Bisping kept getting
down
back
quite
up.
a lot. Yeah.
But then there was a bit because I also watched in the build up to this fight. There was the grappling match between Bisping and Chael Sonnen. Did you ever watch that?
I didn't watch that. No.
It's amazing, right? So Bisping is grappling Chael Sonnen in a what are we on? Bisping's grappling Chael Sonnen, and during the thing, Chael's trying to take him out, and Bisping's playing to the crowd. He's like, while Chael's trying to drag him around and drop him to his butt. Bisping's talking to him. He's talking to the crowd. He's waving. He's talking. He's pulling guard. He's doing all sorts of stuff against Chael Sonnen, who might not be the most elite fighter on the planet, but grappling wise, he's very. And he's toying with him. He is. He wins the fight. He toys with him, and in the GSP one, because I watched it before, I thought he's not going to be scared of his wrestling at all. He was so standoffish with it. Then when they went to the ground, it was GSP that got him down, but it was Bisping that cut him up with that. So his nose was fucked. He got a slice on the top of his head, which was dripping into his eyes, and that was was it the second? And then from there, I couldn't see a way GSP was going to grow into that fight. But and if you had told me he was going to drop Bisping before he did that, especially when you know GSP before, that whole thing, that whole journey, that GSP coming in, taking on Bisping, getting beaten up, them finding a way to win, that puts him up there, especially in two weight classes. For me, is he the greatest of all time?
Yeah. I think so. Yeah, to go away, to be as dominant as you were, to go away from the sport for 4 years and come back to be a champion. Yes, okay,
upper weight class.
Okay, yeah, upper weight class. Well, but okay, obviously Bisping's not the, he's aged with the same sort of age. It's not as if he's fighting Robert Whittaker.
There you go. Yeah. You're still hungover, mate. There you go.
Yeah, it's not that he's fighting one of them. He's fighting an older guy as well from the older generations, But it's still to do that was, it was amazing to see.
Greatest of all time, yeah.
I've went out and had a meal with me and GSP like this.
You've had it, of course you have. Yeah. That's.
Well, I've been out clubbing with him. Got a few funny stories, which I won't share.
Oh, he's keep it tight because we'll drop that for the GSP special episode. In fact, before we do that, we're going to switch the camera again. So wait there 1 second. Oh, shame. Oh, the mics were still on. That's fine. That's all right. We'll release that bit on the mic. Look at your face. What the people on the camera see is Brad dropped one of the stories in between. I'll save that little bit of audio and maybe we'll release that for people who are willing to pay us large amounts of money. Okay, I'll delete it before I leave this house, otherwise he'll punch me in the face. Twice at least. So those three fights, three titles change hands. In fact, I've never been as wrong with a fight card, but I've never been as happy, mate.
Yeah.
Despite that, this is what makes MMA.
Okay, I'm more than happy because I wanted Joanna to win, but I like Rose, so I was happy. Happy for her. I actually wanted Cody to win. Yeah, to be honest. But I did actually want GSP to win. Even though I like Bisping, I get on quite well. I did actually want. So I was like, it was a mixed one for me. Okay,
I just thought I like the Cody one was the closest one, but the Namajunas and the Bisping GSP one, I thought they were good fights, but I didn't think it was what would happen. Do you think that UFC is I think it's the best UFC this year without a doubt?
Yeah.
Do you think where's it ranking yours as far as all time?
I don't know, but I've never really. It shows how fascinating this sport is.
How good this sport is,
it's
mate.
like you have 3 champions. You don't expect maybe 1 or maybe max 2 of the belts to change hands, not all 3. It just shows that like you're not safe. It's not like boxing. When you go to a boxing event, you pretty much know who's going to win.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
This is like not only that. It's like our boxing event, it'd be one main card, and you kind of like know the top fight who's roughly gonna win.
Yeah.
Maybe an upset, maybe, but not those 3 fights down, massive fights, and all
change.
Yeah,
all massive moments. All like they all lived up, and like sometimes you can see when you put 3 title fights, and they've done this before where they put a number of title fights on. One of them might live up to the billing, and you get. But these were some of the.
That's what I think. That's what we said about what UFC do so well at promoting, that they have more than one fight.
Yeah.
So they're not relying on one fight to do well, because that Bisping GSP could have been an absolute snore fest. It wasn't, but it could have been.
Yeah.
But then you look at the 2 fights before, and people would have been buzzing about those.
Okay.
You know, so that's where with boxing, they already promote the main event. No one knows any other fights, so if that main event sucks, then people are like, out of crap night.
Yeah.
Or I stayed up and watched
Exactly.
You know, so like,
you got to think about that, especially when you think of main events like even the McGregor Aldo one, which is over in 13 seconds. If we hadn't have had that amazing undercard below
you'd be like,
that wasn't worth sitting up till 7 a.m. for. Let's touch on one more fight before we move on to listener questions. There's the Masvidal Wonderboy one.
Yeah.
That I love Masvidal. Love Masvidal, and I love Wonderboy, but it's amazing style. His control of distance is phenomenal.
It's not. I felt Masvidal's pain.
Yeah.
It's the most frustrating thing. Don't get me wrong, I know the skill. There's a lot of skill. It's the skill involved, and I understand that. But people like Masvidal and myself who are fighters, I hate that. Cause it's just like, come in, motherfucker. Come on, let's go.
What you almost want is like a Star Wars cage where it closes on you.
Oh, mate.
That would be amazing.
Mate. I mean, I say, like...
So it starts at like 20, 35 foot to start with, and as the fight goes on, each round it goes clunk, another 5-6 foot in.
I'd love that. I mean, I'll be world champion.
Oh, we should set up a promotion where that happens, mate. We should. Every round it gets...
But that's the thing, though. I mean, like, I felt his pain, because that's what, like...
Copyright. Don't anyone touch that. That is One Punch Picket Promotions.
I felt his pain, because that's exactly how I felt going down to flyweight. Just like, come on. Like, let's just go. Like, kind of like, is the most... Don't get me wrong. I do understand it's the different type of fighting. But me being a fighter myself, in a way...
I knew this is exactly how you'd feel. I knew exactly how you'd feel. Did you watch it? Did you watch it Did you watch the event chronologically? Did you bounce from fight to fight?
No, I bounced from fight and then went back to watch
you went back to that one, okay? Because that was, the Hendricks one was a weird fight. Hendricks, come on, mate, just go and open a burger bar, go and do something. He's not in it anymore, is he?
No,
he's not there.
He was the one of the guys, big rig. When he came on the scene, untouchable, had a massive left hand, right? It wasn't scared. And then he's been caught a few times. Now he's a bit tentative,
and he's messing about with his weight. In the weigh-ins, he was talking about he can't make welterweight. He can make welterweight. When he uses a nutritionist, every time he used the Dolce, he made weight.
He can make welterweight, but what he can't do is change his lifestyle. That's what it is. It's like, I can't change my lifestyle to make this weight class, and that's solely down to him.
Yeah. And then we had that one, and that was just a weird fight because it was Masvidal chasing a fight, and Wonderboy doing what he does, and he is elite. But he's not going to get a title shot with that. He's not going to get. They're not going to set up a third fight with Woodley
unless Woodley loses, and then he can maybe fight someone else. But
Darren Till called him out. That's a good fight. I'd watch those two. Darren Till versus Wonderboy.
I love to watch Darren Till fight anybody, but I mean, for me, like I said, I don't like Wonderboy's style as much. Again, he did look really good against Masvidal because Masvidal was aggressive, so he does well against aggressive people. Yeah, but imagine like I say, that's why the fight with him versus Woodley, where Woodley was. Everyone has a go at him and stuff like that, but he was doing a smart thing. You don't want to chase that guy because that's when he thrives. He loves that. Someone chase me, move out of the way, boom, 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 and hit.
Make him pay.
That's the style. But if you don't chase him, you don't get a fight. But then you don't lose either. So that's why his fight with Woodley was the most boring thing in the world. Well, Woodley done the right thing. Even if I know that I had to do this to beat that guy, I couldn't physically do it. Honestly, I don't think I could. I'd be like, I just want to hit you so bad. I mean, I don't have the willpower to
I can see it in your eyes.
I can't.
Oh, dear.
I wouldn't. Me, it's not a fight. You know? I love the technical side of fighting, but for me, I was a fighter, so I just wanted to fight.
Yeah.
I want to get hit and hit. You know, that's what I want to do.
Right.
You know?
So what we got to set up is a cage that closes every round. It gets a lot smaller.
Yeah.
Also, we release various wild animals into the cage. Maybe do it.
Yeah.
And then if it's getting really dull, you've got a number of people around the cage with hot pokers that can poke the back of the fighter to push him towards the other fighter. How's that sound? What are we going to call this? What are we going to call this? What are we going to call this?
Or you just fight inside a phone box.
Phone booth fighting. There you go.
You tie like a band between two people's front legs.
That thing. I've seen people spar where they put their foot in a tyre.
Yeah, I'll do that. I love
That's
that. Or you get to the arm wrestle ones where you.
Oh my god, X-Arm.
Punching,
X-Arm. If you've never watched X-Arm, treat yourself. Go to YouTube, watch X-Arm. Basically, the guy who came up with the UFC, Campbell McLaren.
Yeah.
So he is the guy who's behind this. X-Arm, they tape martial artists or arm wrestlers' hands together, and then they're allowed to do full MMA rules as well. So arm bars, head kicks.
I see someone doing arm bar.
Yeah, it's nuts doing that, and all while they're tied there. So you see people getting knocked out, and then they're still attached to the other person. So the other person's trying to celebrate with somebody unconscious. It's beautiful. It's something wonderful. Little treat from the internet. Let's go through some of the listener questions. We've got a few here. So Adam Jack 23, we'll get an update. How's plans for your gym? Will it still be in London? Will it still be in ATT like you mentioned before?
It won't be an ATT. It'll be a GBTT.
A GBT, American top, of course. Yeah, GBT, Great British Top Team.
It's a lot harder to find a venue than I first anticipated, you know. So location is key.
London's hard, man.
It's
London's hard,
like,
especially
if
South
any
London.
bit of land, people just want to whack up load of flats or anything like that, you know. So I am finding the premises hard enough for you would be, to be honest.
But you've got to get the right one as well. That's the thing.
Also, I'll be honest, I'm very busy at the moment as well. So it's just trying to juggle it all around. Definitely.
It's got to happen, mate. We've got to have a Great British Top Team. It's got to be yours. It can't be anyone else's.
Find me a place.
I'll find you, mate. You've got a big back garden. Your back garden's big enough for a gym, isn't it? Come on, let's have that. No? Sarah not going to let that happen? Okay, he also added, he's asked another one. I know you both picked Cody, but general thoughts on TJ's performance. We kind of touched on that already. Yeah. Amazing performance. Rico Riley wants to know what's the big news about the podcast you mentioned last week. Can't tell you yet. We'll hopefully have some news for you. And I've potentially got something else to tell you as well, Mr. Pickett, afterwards. Ooh. So we'll keep it all. Just you got to stay tuned. You got to ride this wave with us. Another one from one of our regulars, cannot come up with a username. Love your questions, mate. Really do. This is a great one. Notice that a lot of British fighters tend to have a good left hook. You, Hardy, Daly, for example. You're in there, mate. There you are. Do you think that is true? And if yes, what is the difference in how striking is taught in the UK compared with the US? And what is the secret to a good left hook? This is going to be like our striking seminar, this one.
I can show you how to do a good left hook. There's different ways of doing a left hook as well.
Do I have to get hit when you show me?
Okay. How I do my left hook is... Okay. A bit like Mike Tyson-ish. So I'm here, and then I dip down to come up with my hook.
Okay.
Right? Where some people just hook like this, but that's just my arm. While I use all my body weight by dipping down to come up for the power shot.
Nice.
And that's why also sometimes, a bit like Rose did, you move down and you jump with it to cover distance.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And that's what Mike Tyson was very good at. They always say feet always should be planted when you throw shots. True, to be hard, but sometimes you spring to cover distance, you know.
That's good.
So it's like a coil. The more you coil your body, the more torque comes back with more power.
Love it.
You know, and if you get that speed and that, you get a very good left hook. And with that, I think boxing, we have a good pedigree of boxing in the UK, you know, and I think that's what it could be. But there's good striking all over. People have left hooks everywhere. But yeah, you're right. I think me, Daly, Dan Hardy, all that, we had a striking. We got into the sport with a striking background.
Yeah.
So that's why I think we had obviously better left hooks.
Nice. Okay. Let's see. Jack Pager. That was the one who asked for the holy shit moment. on Saturday. What else have we got here? Let me find. We've got quite a few, mate. Let me just dig through. You can keep up with us on social media as well. On @1_punch on Instagram and Twitter for Mr. Pickett, and @Bryan Lacey MMA on Instagram and Twitter. For me, that's Bryan with a Y. So just let us know what you think of the show. Also, thank you as well for comments and stuff like that. We love all that sort of shit.
And share.
Spread the love. Spread the love.
I want it to be like a disease.
Yeah, we want to be like a venereal disease.
Like an STD.
We want to be a sound transmitted disease.
Yes.
There you go, mate.
STD.
Eamon Roman on Instagram. Hey, One Punch, how did you get into MMA? Because you got in later than people think, didn't you?
I started fighting when I was younger, but I got into MMA at the age of 26. Where for me, I like martial arts when I was growing up. I was always fascinated by that, but my main sport was football, cricket. I've probably told this story a million times, but I'll do a quicker version. So obviously I took up boxing back then, because I've done other sports like taekwondo a little bit, and I just found back in the days when I started, when I was 18, 19 sort of thing, the tough man sport, if you want to show that you're tough, is boxing. Because I was a tough kid.
Yeah.
I wasn't like the most technical whatever or big. I was quite a small kid, but I always prided myself on being quite tough. You know? And
where did you grow up? You grew up all over, didn't you?
East London, and then I lived in India for a little bit, and then I moved back. Mainly my teen years where I boxed was up in Wellingborough.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. So basically, a tough man sport was boxing. But nowadays, if you want to do a tough man sport, it's MMA.
There's no tougher.
I remember when I first ever went to, I always pride myself as a tough person. The first time I ever went to a MMA class, there was a 16-year-old kid called Mark Smith. Mark the Babyface Smith, his name was. Right?
Oh, you can have someone called Babyface. Come on.
Yeah. No.
He
just mullered me. So bad.
Is there any video footage of this?
No, it was just a train session, but he just beat the crap out of me. And me, like you're saying, being a very proud 26-year-old man at the time, I was like, I could not physically have someone out there being able to do that to me. I need to learn this as a life skill.
Did you go to bed dreaming of that, or could not sleep because of that?
No, I'm very competitive.
Okay.
That's I've never told you that.
No, he's never mentioned it before.
But so because of my competitiveness, I was like, I can't have someone doing that. I need to get better at this. And then obviously, more went, better I got, and as a competitive I am, I got better and better, and then
And there you go.
There I am.
They're one of the most recognisable MMA figures in the world. Look at that face.
People don't know I broke my nose playing basketball.
You mentioned that a few times as well, mate. That's good. Mystic Matt on Twitter, your thoughts on UFC 217? We've done that, and surprised by the results. So we've done that. Sorry, mate. We've covered your question. Let's see. This is a weird one. Cuckoo COCOIU 1 on Instagram. When are you fit for your first MMA fight, and where to sign up? Hey,
what?
maybe. When are you fit for your first MMA fight and where to sign up? I don't know, mate. I don't understand. Could you send that one in again in English?
It was English, but
I'm joking. I'm joking. Gabriel Cuckoo. Yeah, send us that one. Are you looking to do an MMA fight? Is that what you're
asking?
after?
How was I when
are you fit for your first MMA fight and where to sign up? I think he's looking for where he can get into MMA. Just go to a gym, mate.
Yeah.
If your area, there's loads of good gyms. And gyms are great, aren't they? They look like scary places, but they're little.
No,
they're nice. They're good places. Let's see. Derek Phil, what are the chances of the prospects? Nathaniel Wood being part of UFC London in March 17th. That's been announced.
Yes, and it's. If he doesn't get in, it's not from the want to try him. They know about him. We're talking about it. And
campaign.
That's what I need. Honestly, there's nothing more powerful than the people's voice.
Social media, yeah.
Social
it's
media.
Such a good weapon for this now, yeah.
Yeah, so people out there, if they help campaigning to get him in, that will definitely help his chances. Obviously, it does help that
He's got to be on it, mate. He's got to be in there.
I mean, like... Yeah, I honestly think so. But also, there's loads of other talent within the UK as well, all knocking on the door. We have, people, Brendan Lockland, Kane Musa, Who else is there?
There's loads. Mike Grundy just won his battle out in. He's one of Darren Till's training partners. He just won a belt out in Brazil. I think he's still undefeated. He was a Commonwealth champion as well. There's so much talent in this country. That's untapped, and that's what I think. Why I think we need more events, especially UFC. It's great. ACB are doing it. We're coming over. I think we're planning maybe 3, maybe 4 events in the UK next year. But they need big shows. They need big shows. Bellator, UFC, ACB. They need
Rise of Champions.
Rise of Champions, which you can catch on
Fight Pass.
Yes, you can, motherfucker. TJ Wareham at One Punch and Bryan Lacey. Guys, after last weekend, what are the fights you're most looking forward to before the end of the year? I've got an easy pick for
next weekend, straight away. Dustin Poirier versus Showtime.
Yeah, that's a great fight. That's how they've been promoted as well. That's the crazy thing.
I think it's literally in the shadow of this, but I think it actually will help this fight because I think everyone's going to be buzzing after last weekend and want to watch fighting again more. I think it'll actually do pretty well.
And my one that I'm looking forward to before the end of the year is Max Holloway versus Frankie Edgar. That's UFC 218 December 2nd, I think that is, isn't it? Yeah. So that would be my my.
I mean, to be honest, there's so many good fights out there. I sometimes forget which ones are coming up.
So many cards, and the run into the new year is phenomenal with the UFC. So they've got some wicked ones. If you want to send us your questions as well, get involved. We love the questions. We might even do an episode where if we just get a load of questions, we might go on Facebook Live or do something like that where we can do it on Twitter or Facebook where the questions come in as we do the episode. So we'll let you know, give you a heads up. But you can either send us on Instagram under our social media at @1_punch at Bryan Lacey MMA.
Well, I was just thinking about something completely off topic.
Oh, right.
Remind me you still haven't shaved your legs or waxed your legs.
Oh, that's true.
For the committed listeners out here, right?
Yeah, you're quite right.
A long time ago, he lost a bet or something.
Look how hairy these legs. It's gonna hurt,
he had to
mate,
wax his legs. So
look at that.
Just letting you guys know out there, I haven't forgotten.
Look at that. Get the fuck off. If you want to see more of that, and also sign up to our YouTube channel. We're getting more subscriptions, which is great. We're going to put more content, and why
wouldn't you want to see this face?
Well, yeah, look at that. Why wouldn't? Oh God! And so we've got more exciting bits like that going on. You can also email theonepunchpodcast@gmail.com. What we will say as well, and this is over to this man, is we have mugs, and I've had quite a few emails.
Massive mug here.
Massive mug right here. I've had emails of people waiting for their mugs, so I apologise. We've got them. We will get them sent out. Stick with us. We've just got stupidly busy lives, but we've got your mugs. We will give you. We've got some special edition Mayweather Mac ones that they made for no reason, but we love them. So there we go. Right, Shenanigans. Last week.
Well, man, I need some more support.
Listen, this is. Oh, are you going to get the doggy? So this is for those people wondering what the silence was. That was Bonnie getting introduced. Look at you, mate. You're going all fetal on me. You got destroyed last week. I think you actually got destroyed the week before as well.
We can do it.
So I'm going to go to it. Shenanigans. I'll give you 4 news stories. 2 are totally made up. 2 are real stories. You've got to figure them out, mate. You've got to try and get back in the zone, back on the winning record. And tell me which ones are true and which ones are fake. Let me just see which ones. There we go. Okay. So, animal psychologists have officially classified fish as the most depressed beings on the planet.
What?
Animal psychologists have officially classified fish as the most depressed beings on the planet. Number 1. Farmers have been urged to bury underpants to improve the quality of their beef.
What?
Farmers have been urged to bury their underpants.
Where'd you get these?
To bury their underpants to improve the quality of their beef.
Okay.
The world's oldest living land creature is a gay tortoise named Jonathan. Okay. The world's oldest living land creature is a gay tortoise named Jonathan. And people that wee at an angle are said to be more fertile. So do you piss straight or do you piss at an angle? Do you hit the seat? Hit the seat. Like, people.
It also depends if you're circumcised or not.
Like,
if you have the anteater, obviously it depends sometimes whether.
Yeah, all right. Well,
this being technical.
Look, you're getting you get really thinking about that penis right now. People that we at an angle, people that hit the seat a lot, are more fertile. Okay, so you've got animals, a fish being depressed.
Okay, right. Straight away, that you made up.
Okay,
that's just obvious.
Fish being depressed.
Because that's impossible. I mean, that's just like, no way is that even. Fish being depressed, that's a tricky one, guy.
Farmers burying their underpants to improve the quality of their beef.
I want to go over the fish is true.
Okay.
And what was the third one?
And the third one was the world's oldest living land creature, a gay tortoise named Jonathan.
True.
So you reckon the fish is true?
Yeah, I reckon the beef pants you made up, and I think the weeing on a seat, weeing thing is made up. Okay. And honestly, I'm that confident that I've just smashed him 100%. I'm gonna drop the mic, pre-drop mic.
So, what I will tell you is weeing straight or at an angle has got nothing to do with fertility. That was me making it up. Shenanigans. I stumbled over that one because I've written it down wrong on my frigging phone. What I will tell you, though, is that animal psychologists officially classifying fish as the most depressed beings on the planet. That's made up, my friend. I've got you. We are in. Come on. I wouldn't say smashed, but you may leave with some respect. The true ones are the two that are left. So the true ones are farmers urged to bury their underpants to improve the quality of their beef. The science behind this is farmers have been told to bury their underpants, and I don't know why they've used underpants as an example. This is in the Telegraph, by the way, because it will tell us the fertility of the soil. If you bury your underpants and you go back and the underpants are still there, say 10 days or 2 weeks later, they've not degraded at all, that means the nutrients or the minerals and the things living within that soil is not a very high level of them, so that means it's poor soil, so that'd be poor grass for your beef. Whereas if you bury it and you go back to it and they've started to rot or they've started to decay or they've started to be broken down, then that means that is nutrient rich soil, so that is a good place to feed your cows for their beef. Yeah. And then the other one, this is a true one, this is the world's oldest living land creature is indeed a gay tortoise named Jonathan, because it's only had sex twice. It's been in this country, given as a present in 1880. But I've forgotten who it is. He's got cataracts. He's lost his sense of smell. He's very,
probably why he's only had sex, because he can't see where he's going.
He's had sex twice, but attempted to have sex twice, but he's only ever attempted to have it with what they've classed as his soulmate, the other tortoise. And they haven't given his name. Maybe he wants to stay anonymous. Frederick. He's only ever had tried to have sex with another male tortoise twice, so they've classified him as gay. So there's Jonathan, the world's oldest tortoise. There you go. So it's 1 for 1. How about that? You'll be thinking about farmers next time you do some of your steak hors d'oeuvres. Steaks, what do you call them?
Steak appetizers, which are fucking delicious. Amazing. They really are delicious. Mate, I'm starving now. I might go down and buy myself a steak. Let's do it, mate. You do that. You treat yourself, because you deserve it. You deserve it. That is it from us. Thank you once again. Share this podcast. Spread it around like a venereal disease. That's what we want, isn't it? And spread the word. Let us know what you think of this. Check it out on YouTube as well. Just like it on there. We'll get more views and we'll grow that as a channel, and we will subscribe. We'll be back next week as well. Comments as well. Give us a little rate and review. We're not asking for anything. We don't ask for any money. We're not asking for any donations. We're not even asking to send naked photos of yourselves. That'd be good. Depends
optional.
Who you are, yeah.
Email theonepunchpodcast@gmail.com. We're going to get a lot of dick pics now. But do that. That will help us grow the podcast. Final words from you, Miss Pickett. Yeah, again, thanks a lot. Great to be back. 2 weeks in a row. Oh, it's good to see you. 2 weeks in a row, and we're back next week. So I'm here this weekend and gigging. What are you doing this weekend? This weekend, I'm going to Bama. Dominic Wooding's very nice. We'll talk about that. Yeah, very talented young kid. He's awesome, Dominic. Yeah. He's also a good personality. I saw him and he was fighting Andy Taz Young over in Dublin, and he's game and he's good. He's gone up a weight class this time. I think at the weight cut we're going down killed him too much. But now he's back. He's fine at bantamweight. And then on Saturday I have a seminar in Wisbech. Whiz Beach. Why not go there? Treat yourselves. All right, we'll be back next week. See you then.